Hey guys, welcome back to Prof. Isa. I'm Isa Hanif, and today we're going to be talking about percentage. So, percent means out of 100. So, like this picture over here, 13%, that is the percent signal, the percent sign. There's like a dash, the dash and the two zeros, the two dots. It means out of 100. So over here it says 13% equals to 13 over 100. So percentage is useful because if you are trying to compare two things, for example, if you're trying to compare two deals on an item that you want to buy, and so if you have two different deals, you don't really sometimes, which will happen most of the time, the people who are selling it both bought it at a different price and now they're selling it at a different price, and you want to be able to compare them, but they all have different prices, and the price that they bought it for brand new and the price that this guy bought it for brand new, and they're two different prices, so you want to be able to compare them and you want to know which one has the better deal. You can also use this if you just took like two tests and you want to know which test you did better on, but the two tests have a different number of questions and you got a different number of questions correct on them. And you won't be able to compare them because they have different amount of questions. So what you would do is you would figure out if using the same ratio that you have here, the amount of questions that you got right over the amount of questions total on the test, you would use that and make the total amount of questions that you got on the test 100, and then you would see if that was 100 how many questions you would have gotten right, and then you can change your other test to do also like that. So then they would both have the same amount of questions on the test, and you would be able to compare them easier. So if we take a look at this right here, these are two tests. Okay, we have test number 1 and test number 2. So test number 1, 18 over 20, that's going to be our ratio, meaning that that there are 20 questions total on this test, and we got 18 of them correct. And on test number 2, we have 26 questions total, and 21 questions. We got 21 questions correct. And if you want to see which what you did better on, or if you want to see what test you did better on, you would need to make the amount of questions on the test using this ratio. You would need to make the amount of questions on the test the same amount. So then and then since the ratio would be going, the top numbers, the amount of questions that you got right would also change. But then since you would have the same amount of questions on the test, it would be a lot easier to compare. So what we need to do to solve this is, so in order to get a percentage of that, you would need to multiply this ratio by a number that you would get, and the bottom would become 100. So in this case, for test number 1, it's really easy. You can obviously tell that it's 5 because 5 times 20 is 100. But sometimes it wouldn't be that easy. Sometimes it might be like a decimal, or it would not be a whole number. So in that case, you would need to do 100 divided by whatever number you have. So in this case, it's 5. So let's write down 18 over 20. So this is the ratio that we have, and then times 5 over 5, because they're multiplying it by a fraction. So it's 5 over 5, and then this equals 2, and then we know that our bottom is the denominator is going to be 100. Because if it's over 100, that's what it means by percent. So 20, so to multiply fractions, I think I talked about that in my earlier video, but you can go ahead and watch that if you want. But I did that 20, so you would do 20 times 5, which is 100, and then 18 times 5, which is 90. So put the 90 there. And so it's 90. So we have 90 over 100. So remember what I said earlier about if it's over 100, then it's percent, right? So that means that that this is 90% because the 90 is, so it's 90 over 100, which is 90%. So we got a 90% on our first test. 90%. Okay, 90% on our first test. So now we're going to do the same thing on our second test. You can go ahead and pause if you want and see if you guys can figure it out, but I'm going to go ahead. So 21 over 26. So we're going to multiply this by something that we're going to multiply it by something that, so that the numerator on our answer, the denominator on our answer will be 100. So like in this case, you can't figure it out. Like I said before, we're gonna have to divide it. So you're gonna do 100 divided by 26, and that is some really long decimal. So you're not gonna be 100% accurate with this one. But you can be as really accurate but not exact. So the decimal is 3.84, and it still continues going long and long, but that's all I'm gonna do. 3.84. So then we're going to do the equal to, and now for this one, we already know that this bottom one is going to be 100, and now we're going to have to figure out what the top one is. So 21 times 3.84 is 80.64. Whoa, got mixed up there. Yeah, 80.64. So it's over 100. So we got 80.64% on this test. 6. Yeah. So now that we have both of our percentages, we have 90% and 80.64%. So you can see which one is higher. So the higher one is you got more percent of your answers correct. So which is 96%. So we did better on test number 1. So that's all I have for today. I hope you liked this video. I hope it helped you. Please like and subscribe. Bye.